Dual typing Pokemon are Pokemon that we can use to power up to use two different typings in Pokemon Go to raid. So today we'll be checking out the top best dual typing Pokemon to power up to help ourselves save Stardust. Alright, so hi to all of you guys. So yes, let me go to bring my screen up and show you guys in my storage and explain to you guys what I mean by a dual typing Pokemon. So let's go ahead to check out Kyogre. So Kyogre is actually a single typing Pokemon or a mono typing Pokemon. So it's a pure water type Pokemon. So you will want to use it as a pure water type Pokemon and not to use any other, moves like Blizzard or even Thunder when you want to use it to fight raid bosses. Even so, it only has access to one fast move. If you were to try and change the fast move, you cannot learn any other attacks. So hence using it as a pure water type attacker is great. However, today's video, we are not going to talk about the single typing Pokemon. We'll be talking about the dual typing Pokemon. Some of the Pokemon that we'll be looking at, some of them, they are also single typing, but they can function as both a dual typing attacker, meaning having two typings at least that will be top tier for that particular typing itself. So there are some of them that I wouldn't be talking about. Example, we'll check out Steel typing. We can check out Metagross. Alright, Metagross is a Steel and Psychic typing Pokemon, meaning you can use it as a Steel type attacker with Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash. And also you can change the fast move to actually get a Zen Headbutt, which I wouldn't do it right now to show you guys because I need to save the TMs for later on. But it has Zen Headbutt and it actually also has access to Psychic. Alright, if you were to remove away Earthquake, it has Psychic also. So the Zen Headbutt and Psychic combination will allow it to be a very good, or shall I say a very strong Steel type attacker, at the same time a Psychic type attacker. Psychic type attacker wise, it is not the top tier, so hence it's not going to be part of the list as there's a stronger Pokemon, which I'm very sure you guys already know which it is, and that's Mewtwo. Alright, so first things first, let's go to check out the first Pokemon that I would like to share with you guys to actually look at. So the first dual typing Pokemon that I would recommend to actually power up is Rayquaza. If you guys have one, it is the top tier Dragon and Flying type attacker. So using it as a Dragon type attacker and a Flying type attacker with Air Slash, Breaking Swipe and Dragon Ascent. Of course, if you want to use it as a Dragon type attacker, you then have to just change the fast move. The good thing about the mons that I'm going to recommend to you guys, they all can be changed in terms of just alternating their fast moves whenever you need to use them, either for a, say for example, Rayquaza, a Dragon typing or a Flying typing. So right now with Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe, I can use it as a Dragon type attacker. Just now with Air Slash and Dragon Ascent, I can use it as a top tier Flying type attacker. So the reason why I'm recommending all these dual typing Pokemon to you guys is because they can function as two typings, as top tier attackers. However, in a situation like that, with Tyranitar is a Rock and Dark typing Pokemon. It can be used as a Dark typing Pokemon with Bite and Brutal Swing. It can also be used as a Rock typing Pokemon with Smackdown and Stone Edge. However, the problem about Tyranitar is you can only get Smackdown, the fast move Smackdown, during Community Day or if you use an Elite Fast TM. So the problem about this particular Pokemon, you will either use it as a Dark typing attacker or a Rock typing attacker if you have only one Tyranitar. So I'll recommend having two. Alright, so in this video I wasn't supposed to show this, but I just want to explain to you guys why I have two Tyranitar, one with Smackdown and Stone Edge. Because if you were to try and change the fast move for the Smackdown, alright, you say, are you sure Smackdown cannot be relearned? So if I press yes and then it removes my Smackdown, I cannot get my Smackdown back anymore. I would then have to use an Elite Fast TM to get it back. So I'm not going to do it. So to use it as a dual typing Pokemon isn't exactly the most optimal. So anyway, we are not going to cover every single typing possible in this game. There are a total of 18 typings, but you don't have to have all 18 typings to have a very, very strong Pokemon storage team to use against raid bosses. But there's one Pokemon that I would say you can use as technically a total of 4 different typings, and that is Mewtwo. Mewtwo is the most versatile Pokemon in the game, I would say so, because of it having access to so many different charge attacks. So of course, with Psy Strike, it will definitely be the number one Psychic type attacker. If you have Shadow Mewtwo, definitely use it. As for the second slot, I would also, one more thing though, I would recommend opening up the second attack. If you do not open the second attack and just use it as a single typing attacker with the charge attack, it defeats the purpose of this particular video because it's supposed to be a dual typing. So hence, all the Pokemon that you will be using, you will want to unlock the second charge attack. And the most expensive charge attack to unlock is a Shadow Legendary Pokemon, which has cost 120,000 Stardust. Still cheaper than powering up a brand new Pokemon up to level 40 or even up to level 50. So anyway, back to this though. I'll show you guys the possible moves that Mewtwo would have. Alright, you guys can see Shadow Ball, Hyper Beam, Psychic, Ice Beam, Focus Blast, Flamethrower. So for Mewtwo wise, if you want to use it as a top tier ice type attacker, you can still use it, alright, as long as you change the Thunderbolt. Do not change Psy Strike, do not change away Shadow Ball, because those two, including Hyper Beam, are all legacy and you cannot get them back unless you use your charge, your elite charge DM. So you see, if I want to use it as an ice type attacker, I can just change it to try and get Ice Beam. Of course, I'm running out of charge DMs, but if we were to use Mewtwo with the Ice Beam, okay, if I do get it, you can get Ice Beam, it would then be one of the top tier ice attacker. So other than ice, you can use it as an electric type attacker with Thunderbolt, like what I had just now. You also can use it as a top tier ghost attacker if you have Shadow Ball, like what I have for my other Mewtwo, Psycho Cut, Psy Strike, and Shadow Ball. So with Shadow Ball, it's also a top tier ghost attacker. Despite the fact that it does not have a ghost typing to it still does insane amount of damage, and of course a Psychic type Pokemon too. By the way guys, all these Pokemon that I'm telling you guys, they are not ranked in any tier or whatsoever. I'm just telling you guys as how we go along. But the next Pokemon that we'll be looking at is Terrakion. Terrakion with a rock and fighting typing, it actually functions as a dual typing, and it's good as a rock typing attacker with Smackdown and Rock Slide. And if you want to use it as a fighting type attacker, very easy. You just use your fast move, change away the Smackdown, and it is not legacy. So you can change it and get double kick. So double kick Sacred Sword, that's when you can use it as a top tier fighting type attacker. So by the way, if you guys haven't figured out yet, basically what I'm trying to share with you guys is powering up only one Pokemon but functioning as two typings, saving you Stardust to not having to power up two Pokemon at all to function as one individual typing and another separate individual typing. However, all these Pokemon, they may not be ranked number one in that particular typing, but they're still top tier in either one of those typings. So anyway, the next Pokemon that we'll be looking at is Excadrill. Excadrill with Mud Shot, Scorching Sands, and Iron Head. Alright, you can use it as a ground or steel type attacker, although Metagross or Shadow Metagross actually is better than Excadrill if you actually use it as a steel type attacker. But you know, like I explained to you guys just now, that Metagross, you will only use it as a steel type attacker and not a psychic type attacker. You wouldn't use it as a ground type attacker too because it doesn't have any ground type fast moves. So what you can do when you want to use it as a steel type attacker, it's kind of a little bit of a budget steel type attacker. You can just change it to Metaclaw. Metaclaw and Iron Head, not exactly the best. Like I said, it's still going to lose to Metagross, but if you just want to power up only one Pokemon to use both ground and steel typing, Excadrill is your answer. Now the next Pokemon that can function both as a ground and rock typing Pokemon is Rhyperior. If you actually manage to get yourself the Community Day move, Rock Wrecker, that's when you can use it as both a very strong rock type and ground type Pokemon. If you actually only have access to Stone Age, I wouldn't really recommend to use it. I would really recommend to get Rock Wrecker because it's a stronger move, it's a way stronger move than Stone Age itself. So when you want to use it as a ground type attacker, very simple, just change Smackdown to Mud Slap. So Mud Slap, Earthquake, that's the move that you want to have, and of course Smackdown and Rock Wrecker, that's the move that you want to have as a ground type and a rock typing attacker respectively. So the next Pokemon that I highly recommend to get as the top tier ice attacker and still a very strong ground type attacker is Shadow Mamoswine. By the way, all those Pokemon that I mentioned to you guys just now, the Rhyperior and in fact the Excadrill, if you guys can get them in the Shadow form, definitely get them in the Shadow form. They are definitely much better than the non-Shadow form, regardless of the IVs. Of course, it's harder to get the Shadow form because you have to remove away the frustration and wait for a calm day to get the moves. Or if you want, you can use your Elite TMs. So anyway, for Mamoswine, you can use Mud Step, High Horsepower, and Avalanche. Alright, like I said, you always have to unlock the second charge attack and use it as a duo typing attacker. So Shadow Mamoswine is a top tier in terms of as a ground type attacker. And as for an ice type attacker, alright, you can just change the fast move, Mud Slap to Powder Snow, and now we have a top tier ice type attacker. In fact, it's still currently ranked number 1. So the next Pokemon that we'll be looking at had a community day, and that's Chandelure. Chandelure, you would get Poltergeist as the community day move, but you do not need the community day move to use it as a ghost and fire type attacker. So Chandelure against certain Pokemon such as Mewtwo is very good, because you know, when you fight against Mewtwo, usually the moves, they are so like you know, there's so many charge moves that certain Pokemon would then be used in certain situations, but Chandelure is the one that handles most of the typing, including Focus Blast, including Ice Beam, including Flamethrower well, as it resists all those moves. As for a Ghost type attacker, you want to use Hex and Shadow Ball, not Poltergeist. Alright, and then you can just change the fast move to get a Fire Spin with Overheat, and that's when it will also be a good fire type attacker, also in the Shadow form. So the next Pokemon is the Dragon and Ground typing pseudo-legendary Pokemon Garchomp. It can function both as a Dragon and Ground typing Pokemon with Mud Shot and Earth Power. That is the Community Day move. And as for Outrage, it's not a Community Day move. You can get the move with just a regular Charge DM. In order to use it as a Dragon type attacker, very simple. Just change the fast move, you know, alternating either between Dragon Tail or Mud Shot. It's a very strong Dragon type attacker, also a very strong Ground type attacker. So now I believe I've shared with you guys a total of 8 Pokemon that I recommend to power up as dual typing, excluding the Tyranitar. And there's only one more left that I will mention as an honorable mention, and that is Weavile. Alright, Shadow Weavile. The reason why I'm mentioning this as an honorable mention and it's no longer top tier anymore is because it is a dark typing Pokemon. It is also an ice typing Pokemon. As a dark typing Pokemon, it actually loses to Tyranitar with Bite and Brutal Swing, Shadow Tyranitar with Bite and Brutal Swing. And as an ice type attacker, it actually loses to Shadow Mamoswine. So in the past, I actually did use this as a dark typing attacker, pure dark typing attacker with Snarl and Foul Play. Sometimes I do use it as an ice typing attacker. At that point of time when I only had like 2 or 3 Shadow Mamoswine, I will use 1 or 2 Shadow Weaviles too. But eventually, once I upgraded my Shadow Mamoswine team up to 6 or more, I didn't need to use the Shadow Weavile as an ice typing attacker anymore. But I still used it as a dark typing attacker. But after that, when Shadow Tyranitar had Brutal Swing, I actually stopped using this totally. But if you guys want to get this for yourself to use it as a dark or ice typing attacker, you guys can, but I wouldn't really recommend it anymore, because there are better Pokemon out there. But still, having Snarl and Foul Play, you use it as a dark typing attacker when you remove away Snarl to get not Feint attack. But basically, out of TMs, Ice Shard, right? So Ice Shard and Avalanche, you then will use it as a top tier ice attacker. The Ice Shard is not a signature or legacy or anything, so you can just use a regular fast TM to get it. So that's basically all the Pokemon that I recommend to actually power up as a dual typing attacker, although some of them, like I said, like Mewtwo is just a single typing, it can still function as a 4 typing Pokemon. As for the rest, they all function as a dual typing Pokemon. These are the ones that I really would recommend to power up if you want to have a Pokemon that can function as 2 very strong typing. The Pokemon that I really recommend to focus are Shadow Mamoswine, Shadow Excadrill, Shadow Chandelure, Shadow Rhyperior, and even Rayquaza. All those 5 are the ones that I really will recommend. Of course, Mewtwo is the one that a lot of people will definitely go after too, but once you have power up like the Shadow Mamoswine, you wouldn't need to use the Mewtwo anymore, because it will beat the Mewtwo as an ice type attacker. If you actually power up another stronger electric type Pokemon, then also the Mewtwo wouldn't be as strong as that anymore. Like example, Xurkitree, etc. But that is a single typing Pokemon. It will function as just a pure electric type Pokemon. Alright, so that's all from me, man. Hopefully you guys have found this video a bit helpful and useful for you guys to save a bit of Stardust here and there. You don't have to power up 2 or more Pokemon to serve as just one particular typing. This particular Pokemon that I've recommended to you guys can use it, and as and when a raid boss comes and is weak to one of the particular typing, just change the fast moves, and it will help you to actually take down the raid boss much quicker and much easier and save Stardust in the long run too. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely remember to leave a like on the video. Be much appreciated. Thank you very much. And let me know in the comment section down below if you guys appreciate and would like more of such videos from me, tutorial based videos from me. If you guys want more, definitely I can make more of it. So with that said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode in the next video. Alright, it's time to say goodbye. So goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.